All right, well, welcome everybody. We're excited to announce our signing class of the 2022 with 2022 early signing period. We've signed 19 players. We're really excited about the, uh, the various groups and talent that we see in this group in this signing class, and really excited about the speed as well. So there's a number of players that are going to be contributors and can compete for starting spots right away, and there's others that are, uh, we're going to see in the future after missions, which is not it's not too it's not new to what we do here in our program. So also want to I have A-Rod, Ed Lamb, and E are here with me to answer any questions you guys may have. But want to before we do that, just want to express our gratitude and appreciation to everyone that allowed this to happen with the signing class, the families of the recruits for trusting us with their sons, and we're looking forward to that relationship with them. Also want to thank everybody that was involved in the recruiting process, their coaches and their administrators at their school. Also want to thank our university, our administration. I know that the leaders in our administration, upper campus with Kevin Worthen and Keith working, being available for our recruits on their trips. Also, a number of staff and faculty, professors at the school being able to be there for our recruits and answer any questions they may have. And so, and finally, want to thank our players for being great ambassadors for our program and connecting with these young men and making sure that they're a great fit for us, and kind of being a good sounding board to any of the questions that our recruits may have within the culture of the team and how we do things. And so we're looking forward to seeing these guys. I mean, that's the game is that we feel like we can add depth and provide talent and add on the talent part of it. And there's tons of guys here that are physical and have a lot of skill. And so we're looking forward to getting them into our campus and working with our strength and conditioning group and everybody that we have available to make sure that they're the best student athlete we can get. Well, finally, I also want to thank our support staff and their hard work. John Swift, our DFO, and Jack Demooney that works with all our relations. And finally, Jason Ayu does a great job with our recruiting and handles he does a lot of things for our recruits and for our student athletes. So thankful for them too. So any questions you guys may have, you just ask specifically, and I'll hand the mic over.
Hey, Coach, thanks. If you're joining us late, we'll take one question at a time per person, and then if you direct it specifically to an individual coach. And then if we have additional time, we need to try to wrap up at about 5 minutes too. So if we have additional time, we'll go around a second time. We'll start with Jared Lloyd and then Alex.
Kalani, this recruiting class is almost exclusively from Utah. A couple of guys from outside, but very Utah heavy. Is the talent in Utah just increasing where that fills the needs that you guys are looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing we're going to do is look close to home, and a big part of that is us being able to run camps this summer and see the guys. Before the sign class before was just more of evaluation. That was all done without during the pandemic, without really doing the official visits. So we got on it early with these guys. I mean, I have to thank our staff and our coaches for recruiting and evaluating our players, and then being able to just make that connection with them and their families. A good number of this class committed early, so just happens that a good number of them came from the state of Utah. I think we're always going to look close to home first, and then branch out from there. And we're still looking to sign, still a number of players that are out there, specifically in the defensive backfield. We're looking to sign as well. So we have another signing day, but I think at BYU, our bigger signing period is going to be the early signing one in December, and then we'll still work throughout the year. You saw what happened last year. We still work throughout the year in recruiting and trying to get the right individuals here that can fit and fill our needs, but also fit our program and give us the depth that we need. So, by the way, we're looking all a little bit rough. We just got done with practice, so I'm speaking for myself. These guys look great all the time, especially A-Rod.
Go ahead, Alex.
Coach, you had a few players signed with BYU today that had previously been committed elsewhere throughout, the recruitment for whatever reason. When there's a player that you guys are recruiting that has already verbally committed somewhere else and then they reopen their recruitment, what is the process like of trying to get that recruit actually to come to BYU and sign with you guys?
I think the main thing is that we keep a great relationship with them and their family, and so when it all comes down to it, the decision is going to be made for them to go where they feel like there's the best place for them. And we have a number of guys on our team that chose to go other places and came back here. So I give credit to our coaches for having that great relationship with them, and then also being open to hearing what when someone wants to change and make a move to come here, being open to make it work. And so I think the connection we have with the families makes it a lot easier to make that adjustment.
Next, we'll take questions from Sean and then Jake.
Kalani, you touched on speed a little bit, and actually maybe I'll direct this one at A-Rod, because Kalani touched on speed a little bit and how much faster you guys got. I'm thinking in particular, you brought in guys like Cody and Dom to really bolster kind of the perimeter, it sounds like, to get a lot faster. Was that just a big focus of this class, was trying to get those quick, agile guys to kind of liven up the attack, I guess?
I wouldn't say it was more of a focus than it is in the past, but it just so happened that this year there were some really fast in-state guys in track. There were some great track times last spring, and we were able to add several of those guys to our team. And so, I can't remember a time in my coaching career where there were better track times than last spring. Maybe there was, but I don't remember that. I don't remember a year that was better than that. And we were fortunate to add several of those guys that were running really good times to play receiver for us, or we'll see where everybody ends up, what positions they're going to play, but really, really excited about them.
My question's also for A-Rod. Aaron, there's no quarterback in this class, but I do know you guys added a quarterback in the transfer portal last summer. Yeah. Is that kind of the trade-off, as you did not take a quarterback so far in this class?
Exactly. That was the idea. Yeah. So we were able to get a quarterback in the portal, and so now we feel like we're full there. Unless somebody chooses to go elsewhere, then we'll always try to keep it full. But we're always looking for the best QBs we can get, and that was one of the things that Kalani and I agreed on when he hired me, was we're going to keep that room as full as we can with the best quarterbacks we can find, and then the competition just brings the best out in all of them. And that was Cade Finnegan, by the way. Cade Finnegan was the guy you're talking about.
This question is for Kalani. Kalani, we're seeing a lot in college football, a lot of programs holding off on signing high school players to land transfer portal prospects. How many spots, maybe in the February period or spring, do you plan on leaving open for potential transfer portal additions?
I don't know. I'm not tied down to a number, so I know there's a limit, but we're going to try to get the team to be as developed as possible. And so if that means adding certain players, I don't know if we'll make a great living off of the portal, but we know that if they're going to come here, they're probably going to contribute right away. And if you look at the players that have gone to the portal and transferred here, that's a good, as far as the percentage of those guys contributing and playing, we have a good track record right now. So that's what it comes down to. But I don't think we're going to make a statement on how many we're looking to keep open for transfer portal guys. But I know one thing, in the recruiting process, we want to get it right the first time. So we don't want someone to think that they can just go somewhere and then just turn around and make BYU as the destination if it doesn't work out. So I think we do our job as recruiters and as a coaching staff, and make sure that we get the right young men here the first time, and that's the goal.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the Atlanta airport, so I can't wear a mask and can't talk loud. But Ed, you've talked in the past about getting developmental type players. With the Big 12 folk coming on board, is that still the focus, or are you guys going after more already game-ready players, I guess.
Well, yeah, we always set out to get the most game-ready players that we can. I think there are certain positions at BYU that we have to look for what in the past we've called developmental. We feel like with our increased recruiting profile moving into the Big 12 that we'll probably be able to lean towards maybe upside more in recruiting than purely developmental. In the past, for example, some of our defensive backs, they've been wide receivers in high school and quarterbacks. Caleb Hayes was a quarterback and has developed into a really good defensive back for us. But I think moving forward that we can get more guys who have more football experience on the defensive side of the ball, are more trained at the cornerback position, and still look for that upside. And we feel like that's really a hallmark of the way that we coach and an advantage that we have.
Okay, let's go with Jared Lloyd and then Mitch.
Kalani, how has the NIL changes impacted recruiting?
I don't think it's changed that much. I mean, we've done a good job of getting the right players in here as walk-ons and giving them an opportunity to develop and even earn scholarships. And so I don't know if the NIL deals made that much of a difference as much as we want to just take care of them. That's what it comes down to, is that the NIL stuff that we had earlier in the year was to take care of our walk-ons, not really to I think we have a good track record on how we develop the guys and the guys that fit our roster as walk-ons.
Kalani, in your opening statement, you thanked a lot of people that helped go in, or that put in a lot of work to put this recruiting class together. As part of your extension, maybe improved resources going forward for the program in the future, will there be additional full-time recruiting staffers or analysts added the program in the future? Is that part of the plan going forward?
Yeah, there's going to be added staff, but I think everybody in the office is going to have to be involved in recruiting somehow. I don't think there's just going to be these are the only recruiters. I mean, we have that with our director of recruiting. That's Jason IU. Everybody else has to be involved with recruiting, but we have to do a lot of other things too. But recruiting's got to be the emphasis for everybody that works in that building.
Take a question now from Jake and then Alex.
This question is probably for Aaron. Aaron, you guys are taking 6 offensive linemen in this class. I believe most of them are planning on going missions right away, but is this kind of the planning out process for you guys? You have to look 2 and 3 years down the road and say, okay, we need to bring in guys now, so that way they can kind of fill these roles down the road?
Yeah, we're always just looking for the best offensive line we can find. I can't say exactly right now what the exact plans are, but a couple of these guys are going on missions. A couple of them are going to join us next fall, and there's a chance that maybe one of them joins us mid-year next a year from now. So, but it's a really good group. I know that there's some really good football players in that offensive line class that we just signed, and we're super excited about all of them.
Coach, to follow up on the NIL question Jared asked earlier, the NCAA is kind of looking into the deal you guys have with the Built Bar company right now. As somebody who really advocated for that deal and was really positive about it, what was your reaction when you heard that the NCAA was looking at that?
That's fine. We got nothing to hide, so we care about our players and that means our walk-ons as well. So if they want to question that's okay. We'll be fine.
Let's take a question now from Jay and then Jared.
Yeah, Coach E, I can't let you get away without answering a question. What were your greatest needs on defense, and do you feel like you found them?
Yeah, I think that the needs every single year is really just to replace a lot of the players that we ended up losing this last year. We lost a bunch of our COVID seniors, and that was a big majority of just the production. And so we have a lot of young kids that are playing now, but we're always going to want to have a good, healthy number of DBs playing for us. And so that's continues to be a point of emphasis for us going into the second signing period in February. That'll still be our deal. But we feel good about the guys that we signed. Feel good about the the development potential of a lot of these kids that are end up going on missions or playing right away, and think that they'll continue to add to the depth that we have now with so many of the young freshman kids that are playing for us right now.
Okay, we'll take a question from Jared and then Mitch.
Ed, let me grab you on this one. What do you enjoy most about this early signing day? And maybe the other side, what's your least favorite part of this early signing day?
Yeah, I thought that was addressed a little bit earlier with the number of local guys. I think for only a handful of schools across the country, you have a recruiting base, and BYU has one of the richest recruiting bases. We have some of these signees, they've got family traditions here. They're legacy guys, whether it's brothers, fathers, cousins, both that have played here. They might have grown up wearing BYU pajamas and cheering for the Cougars, and the chance to get them locked down early is critical for us. And we still have some work to do in the recruiting class to round it out, but I think we all enjoy, I think I can speak for our whole coaching staff and support staff as well involved in recruiting. We all enjoy getting to know those BYU guys, those our kind of guys, those guys that are such great fits for us and what this program is built on and was before any of us came through here and still will be when we're long gone.
This question's for Coach Tuiaki. Coach, I believe Isaiah Moa is enrolling in January. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but what type of impact can Isaiah potentially make in the program year one and in years to come?
Yeah, he joins us in January. We're excited to get him early and get him into the program, playing with all the young players that we've got. But he's a phenomenal player. I mean, he played tight end. He can play receiver. He can play a bunch of different places. And because you get someone that's athletic like that, that's big and athletic, you can put him into a bunch of different roles. And so, it'd be huge for him to be with us early. To learn the different packages and to kind of move him around and figure out where we could use him. But certainly excited about getting a big athletic person like Ice. Ice is going to be a really good player for us.
Next, we'll have a question from Jake Hatch.
Yeah, this might be, I guess, Aaron or Kalani. Want to ask you about the McKenzie twins. Obviously, you guys flipped them from Virginia. What played into that to get them to ultimately decide to come to BYU?
I think Kalani pretty much answered that already when he just said we've kept good relationships with all our recruits, even guys you lose. If you recruit them the right way the first time and you work hard to earn their trust, you don't win every battle, but sometimes guys come back around. And we had a good relationship with them from the start, and then when there was interest in coming back to us, it was pretty natural, for us just to pick up where we left off. I was teammates with Brian, been great friends with their dad for a long, long time. I actually played against him in junior college, and then we came into BYU together. We showed up on the same day, mid-year. I think it was January '96, and so that was been friends for a long time, and that was a natural fit for them to switch back to us, I think. And then the same thing goes with Kalani and his relationship with the family as well, and some of our other coaches.
Okay, we'll take a question now from Mitch and then Alex.
This is for Coach Roderick as well. Coach, what do you like most about Cody Hagan's game on the field and also off the field as well?
Well, he has great speed. Start there. Great speed, documented track speed. And then he's just a very polished all-around football player. You don't often find high school players who are so polished and so ready to play, and he just does everything well. He's a good route runner. He's got great ball skills. He has great speed. He's a tough kid. He has great character and comes from a football family. He just really excited about him, and then he plays in a program like Corner Canyon, where a high school program that produces college-ready players, and so there's so much to like about him, and we're fired up to have him join us.
We've got time for a couple questions more, so we'll take one from Alex and then one from Jake.
I think either one of you guys can answer this. I'm curious, in the recruiting conversation, BYU has recent success, and the Big 12 is coming up, and there's a lot of facets to the quote unquote pitch as to why a player should come to BYU. What do you think is the most underrated part of your pitch for players?
Who wants that?
I volunteer, Ed.
We recruit better than we look. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. It's just I don't know if there's. I think that more than anything is just people getting to know how it works here, and that. I know I've said this before. You guys heard me say that this program will never be about one player, and so it's never going to be about one coach. Like I don't want these recruits coming just because I'm the head coach. I want them to come because we have a wonderful staff and a whole group of young men, and this is a legitimate family. And so I want them to see the best part of our school, and that's the people, and that even includes people that are at the school, the faculty, staff, and everybody involved. So
Fox 13 News.
Fox 13 doesn't know how to mute. By the way, we got some fast guys, and I should remind everybody that these times that you see on the track times, that's actually their junior year. So a lot of these guys are going to be faster than what we saw already on the track times from last year. So I'm looking forward to see these guys run.
All right, and then I got the last question here for Coach Tuiaki. Wanted to ask about the other three guys listed as defensive linemen for you. Caden Chichester, if I pronounced his name correctly, Cooper Ross, as well as Brooks Jones. All three of them, to me, this is just my perception, seem to be developmental guys. Can you just kind of speak to how you found all three of them?
Yeah, they all fit the mold of what we're looking for. You want length. Obviously you want athleticism, and you want tough kids that fit into our program.
Yeah. Just driving back from Firehouse Subs. I'll be right there.
Ben Bagley. Ben Bagley doesn't know how to mute
door
either.
closed and lights on down there. What did you?
Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, so they're all three of those kids were just great fits for us. As far as what we're looking for. All kids that made it to camp, so that we can see them in person, and we feel like to a certain degree, every single one of these kids that come have a little bit of developing to do. You normally don't get kids that are going to come in and just light the world on fire, especially at the D line, O line positions. I mean, they've got to catch up to speed with the rest of the guys that are on the team, as far as just how strong they are and how developed they are. And so every one of these kids just fit what we're looking for, but probably more importantly was they fit into our locker room, and that's something that's really important to us. And the players are a big part in recruiting them and making sure that they get feedback back to us when they come on official visits, if they're kids that are good kids that fit in the locker room, and so they're all good kids that'll fit for us.
Thanks, Coach E. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Appreciate your time today. We'll let you guys go. We know you have another thing to get to, and good luck in the bowl game.